Dum, 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 dum,
Space between, space between, space between, space between.
Yeah. This is the Space Between podcast where we talk about the space between life and art, passion and business. What's happening now? What's happening next? It's Pat Shand.
I'm Amy Shand. Hello, everybody.
Couple of things. One, I got the laundry machine going in the back. Got the laundry machine going in the back, yeah.
Boom.
It's
Can you
gonna
be
make
making
sounds
hair?
on the track, yeah. Oh.
Bars.
Well, see, I don't know if you guys hear it, but I know that I'm just gonna say it, you guys. Our audio quality isn't at the level where I want it to be. Uh-oh. Yeah, but
Yeah, these are the first microphones and stuff that we've ever gotten for the podcast, and
Yeah.
eventually we'll get better ones.
yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
these
what
are fine.
my dream for our podcast is to have a little studio, right?
Yeah.
We'll have a studio and we'll have that arm hanging, you know?
Whoa.
What?
And at first we could turn a room in a house into a studio.
Oh, that's what I mean.
Okay, yeah.
The one thing I don't like is the idea of having a guest come into our home.
That's why I say later on we can have a business type build,
Right.
rented out.
I agree. I mean, in fact, we recently. Well, you weren't there. I did a dolo, so I'm not gonna give you fucking credit to this. Ow! I went to a cereal and ice cream bar,
Oh yeah.
which is name something fatter to do than to go to a cereal and ice cream bar.
It's is it a unique idea to put
I don't know if
cereal
it's-
as the toppings?
I mean,
I've never heard of that.
I thought it was unique. You know, it caught my eye. I generally wouldn't go to a I'm just gonna say indie ice cream place, right? I would go to a tried and true one, a la Carvel or
Cold Stone.
Cold Stone. Damn, the two C's, you know. I would go to one of the two C's, right? But this ice cream and cereal bar caught my eye. It's called Milky Ways, which I thought was kind of gangster because if I named a place like Crunch Bars, I would fear litigation, you know. But no, yeah, I went in there and the owners were young, you know. I didn't think that they were much older than my wife, Amy, who is so young. Okay. And so I reached out to them on Facebook to see if we could actually do a podcast episode in there with them and have them as the people that we interview. And if that happens, it'll be fun, you know. Justin Gray, famed writer, comments, "My nerds."
Hey.
Chris Wilkinson writes, and Chris Wilkinson, I'm just gonna tell a little story here. When I first started writing professionally, Chris was one of the first people to reach out and sort of befriend me based on my writing. I remember Robin Hood issue 2 came out in the year 2012, which was just 2 months before the world was set to end, right? And Chris commented to Zenoscope, the publisher of Robin Hood and other breast-centric magazines, that Robin Hood 2 was so good that Larry, the artist, and I should maintain our team and have an ongoing series. And then later on, Chris printed out a picture of my face and made a mask out of it. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
That's hilarious.
I was gonna say shout out to Chris. You know, if anyone ever ends up murdering me, pretty good option there.
Might look into the guy with the face mask of you.
Might want to look into the guy with the paper face mask
Paper mache.
of me. Yeah. So what else? We have a lot to talk about today, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we missed last week, which is we're gonna make up for it because I'm actually for any of you in Ohio, right? For any of you in that state, I'm gonna be there. This episode will probably come out tomorrow, so I'll be there today. If you're hearing this or watching this, I'll be at Cincinnati Comic Expo Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm gonna be leaving my wife to do that. How do you feel about this?
I feel sad a little bit because I'm pretty bored when you're not here. But I'm going to catch up on some sleep, and I'll be here with the kitties to take care of them and feed them and stuff, because usually you feed them.
Yeah.
It's fine. I kind of wish that I was scheduled at least one of the days, because I'm off on Saturday and Sunday. But at the same time, like, if someone asked me to cover their shift, I would say no. Because I do
Yeah.
need a... I've been waking up really early all week, and I just want to, like, do a little, like, mini hibernation. But
Right.
tomorrow night is the night of girls' night that I've been talking about with you.
Oh, you're going out, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna at 6:30 meet up at this at the cider house.
I'm both excited for you and a little bit furious, you know?
Why? Because you like the cider house?
Don't fucking go out.
Oh, I'm
without
going.
me.
I'm going, and I'm gonna eat a pretzel, bitch.
Yeah, that pretzel was alright, to be honest. You know,
I loved the mustard dip.
what they should have done, they had 3 dips, right? They had 1 cheese, which I felt was a bit too creamy. 1, make it more pungent to me.
Like more sharp.
Yes. Give me that little cheese
I totally
kick.
agree. I love like stinky cheese.
There we go. 2, there was a regular ass mustard, right? Which I would never fucking eat that.
It was so good.
And then there was that sweet sort of. It was both brown and sweeter.
It was like a Dijon brown mustard,
Yeah.
Dijon honey mustard
Exactly.
sort of thing.
Exactly. To me, instead of that, make it a different honey sauce that doesn't have that starred kick. Okay.
To me, all 3 of the sauces were delicious.
What about my cheese comment though?
They were. I do agree totally with your cheese comment that I like sharper flavored cheeses, but I feel that that's the first one that we ate. So by the time we had the other ones, I was like, all right, the first one was good too.
To me, the cheese it tasted kind of like just coolness, you know, just cool cream, and there was
It
no.
wasn't even warm.
Oh no! It was like basically warm, but it had like a refreshingness.
Okay.
I want my cheese to not refresh me.
Right.
I want my cheese to kind of like kickstart my tongue. You know, I want my cheese to really just like have a little stab to it. You know.
Fair enough.
Ooh, you know what's so good?
What?
If you take like a really hard kind of like breadstick type bread and just pair it with a little hunk of it's exceptionally sharp cheddar cheese.
I love sharp cheddar cheese.
That's beautiful right there.
So good.
So, a couple of things I wanted to talk about personally. Do you think we should talk about something serious first or something funny first?
Well, I now I'm saying serious because I'm curious of what you're gonna say.
All right, so I want to talk about
You're never serious.
I want to talk about an experience I had. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about yet.
Okay. Well, you were at work, and okay, this was the plan, right? I was going to go to the city to play Pokemon Go by myself all day. You know, I had worked all my work stuff that week. I had really just cleared my whole schedule. It was going to be the day where I go and play, and I was looking forward to it all week.
Is the experience the entire day?
Kind of. Wait, just hold on.
Okay.
So, you'll know as soon as you know, and then you'll know.
I don't know.
So, Amy went to work, and before she left the house, right? And then she was alarmed to discover that the lights on my car, my Kia, were on somehow, and the lights hadn't worked for months. My headlights have been out.
It was like a dim yellow light, like the parking lights. It turns out.
Yeah.
And then I freaking go in there to try and start it, and also the dash lights were on.
Yeah. How? What's changed? You know? So watch. The car wouldn't start. Amy came back in and told me the car wouldn't start. Now, as soon as Amy left is when I began to make mistakes that day. Okay? I, for some reason, thought that calling an Uber in 2019 would take about 15 minutes for the car to arrive.
No, try like 7.
was 6, and then he got there earlier.
Oh
So
my God.
here's a little truth about me. I have OCD, right? I have usually it's fine, and it's even helpful as far as my writing goes. And I'm gonna break down for you what my ritual is that I do every night, and then get back to the story. Okay? Do you know what I do every night? I do you know
I've
some
seen
of it.
it, but I don't know.
Tell me some of it, because Amy exposed me to one of her friends at work and broke down my habits to her. And
Not really breakdown because I don't really know, but like I did
Yeah.
say like some specific things.
and I'll say, the friend called me adorable, so
She said that's adorable, not he's adorable.
she said that aspect of my life and myself is adorable, right? So go on and tell them as if they're your coworker what I do.
So, well, what I told her is that you like tap on a certain movie.
You know what movie it is?
No,
Okay.
a certain amount of times.
Okay.
Or else something really bad will happen to you.
Or maybe to you.
Or me. I said that.
Yeah.
And then I said how you like ask me to look and see if the door's locked, like literally right as I'm getting into bed every night, pretty much.
Okay. I didn't even know that was part of it, but it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like, to me, it's not bad because like it's safety things, like the stove. You're really like obsessive about trying to make sure that it's off.
Yeah.
And also, and the other night, I babysat 2 nights in a row this week.
Okay.
The first night, she comes back in after they get home. She's like, man, it's so hot in here. Second night, I come inside. She's like, it's because I left the oven on last night. We were in her house. I was babysitting while the oven was on. So, I don't think there's anything wrong with checking if the oven's off. You know what I mean?
No.
So, so that's what I told her at work. But last night or something, no, the night before last,
Yeah.
like when I woke you up to go into the bed, or maybe it was this morning.
That was this morning, yeah.
I noticed, I think it's new because of Dollop, but you do like a certain whistle to her.
I do the Chi-Chi whistle to her.
Is that what it is?
That-
It sounded so specific, like it
I go-
was just for Dollop. Yeah.
It's the...
Yeah.
Yeah. So watch. That's part of it, but I'll tell you why I do that, okay? Because it's all a reason, okay? And it's mostly very controllable because when you hear this, right, it isn't what I do isn't debilitating to me, right? Here's how I start my ritual, okay? I'll make sure I'm ready for bed before I start. Like, I'll brush my teeth, I'll put my lavender Nari strip on, okay? And then I will go over to the bookshelf. And there, 2 parts of the ritual happen at the bookshelf. 1, I go to the DVD, Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh, yeah. I did know that, but I just remembered when you said it.
It's because it's the most, like, peaceful and happy and positive movie I can think of, you know?
That movie's so fucking funny.
Yep. So I'll go onto it and I'll tap it 1 2 3 4 2 2 3 4 3 2 3 4 4 2 3 4. That's my shit, okay? And at the end of that, if on the final 4 there's a positive image in my head, that's why I'll conjure up Dollop. Because I want something good to be that less. A good thought must coincide with the final tap. Or otherwise, if I don't, I'll literally think of the image of the girl from The Ring.
Still?
Yeah, still.
That movie fucked you up.
Yes. So, I go like that. And if the final 4 is good, and it's so good now, there's a picture of our wedding right there. That's been so helpful. On the final 4, I'll look to that, and in my head, I'll think, Amy. And that'll end that cycle.
Aww.
If not, I'll have to do it again. So
It's cute.
that is fine. I can do it in increments of... I'll probably do that twice for a total of 8. If I fuck up, right? I can't just... You guys hear that? That was like a musically
boat
beautiful
horn?
horn.
Is
All
a
right.
fairy here?
So watch. I'll do that, and then I can't just add a new cycle, right? I'll have to do the whole shit again. And the way that I erase it in my head is I go like this, like in front of the DVDs. That'll psychically erase that, right? And then that's part one of the ritual. And then Amy's clonsters that she makes from clay are 2 shelves below Forgetting Sarah Marshall. It's DVDs, our hamster dollop, clonsters. I'll kiss 2 clonsters. I'll just pick whoever.
I was gonna say, is it random ones?
It's random. I'll like lean into a certain theme some nights, you know. Then
Sea nuggets.
yeah. And then hold on. David Brook comments, I don't understand what is happening. What is the topic? This is my OCD I'm talking about. These are my rituals. Oh yeah. I always feel like I have to say that if anyone watches this on YouTube and are looking for these comments, we stream live on Facebook first.
Yeah.
So these comments are coming into Facebook. That's part 1 and 2 of my ritual, and the rest of it, until recently, has been very just checking oriented. I'll check the door over and over to make sure it's locked.
So, for example, to answer the question, like, we both brush our teeth. I wash my face. Is it before we lay down in bed?
It's never we.
That's true. Okay, so this is why I don't know this.
Yeah.
Because I'm usually already sleeping.
Because I don't
in
want you
bed.
to see.
What? I thought it's because you just sleep later than me.
Oh no, it's that. But if we were going to bed together, you still wouldn't see what I'm doing.
Okay, so it's...
I'll do it when I'm alone here, pretty much.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then a new part is that I have this stack of my 3 copies of Destiny New York. This is very ego-driven, I guess. But I'll literally pick up the 3 stacks and just like spin through the pages really quick and put them down, and then I will check the door and the stove. It could be one good check, or I could check over and over again. I could go to bed, be like, didn't feel good, and check. Even though I know I did it. But here's where it kind of gets you if you have OCD. Hold on, I'll read these comments in a second. If you are thinking about something else, right, as you check something, when you end the check, you're like, wait, was it even in it? You know what I mean? And that'll come up later. So, David comments, turn the camera, let us see super secrets.
Talking about the levels of the DVD and dollars.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's just because we have a lot of wires, so when we try and turn it around, things get unplugged and
You
stuff.
turn your camera, dude, okay? So...
But one day we'll do like a podcast episode of like a little tour. I did a YouTube video of my doll collection.
You did?
And the Clonsters are on there.
It's going to be crazy in the future. Perhaps in the future we'll have a camera where you can see a 360 view of us,
That'd be
where
cool.
you can turn your shit and you can navigate the room yourself. But listen, back to the story, right? So that's my ritual in general. And then the only other thing that I have is that as we leave the house, I'm very anal. That word just seems like butts to me, though, you know? I'm very anal, I'll say, about the doorknob, right? I'll check that I've locked it so many times that in my head I'm like, all right, it's locked, but what if my checking it is what has now unlocked it, right?
Like you wiggled it unlocked.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have you seen me, like, go back to it, you know?
Yeah, you've left the house and come back.
Here we go. So, back to...
Oh, yeah, that's the story.
That's the fucking story. Back to my shit. All right, so Amy is at work. My car doesn't work. I want to go to the city to play Pokemon all day. I've been looking forward to this shit all week. Okay? So...
Because you have certain goals that you want to get done that
yeah,
day.
and there are certain events
your
happening.
day off.
Yeah, it's like my day off. So I called the Uber. It got here much quicker than I thought. And what became a problem for me is that I couldn't find my glasses. I was doing one of these.
That to me is the craziest part, that you even left the house without your glasses. You can't see shit.
I can't see much, you know.
I don't know how, and oh my god, just because you're not driving, you're still walking and stuff. That's dangerous, I think.
Here's an example of how I can see and can't see. Can I see my wife's face? Yes. In fact, I don't put glasses on to read a book. However, take that package over there. Just pick it up in your hand. So, bring it a little bit closer so it's in screen. Like here. I can read that. Put it back in a little bit, but still in your hand. Can't read it!
That's it?
Yep. That's it. So,
yeah, that to me is wild that you left the house. I would have like canceled the Uber and then found my glasses and called another one.
he was here, though, you know? He was here, okay?
It's an emergency. You can't see.
I wasn't really thinking. I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to be, like, driving, so it's fine is what I thought. But as I left, I was thinking about my lack of glasses and how long I kept this gentleman waiting in the Uber downstairs, right? I was thinking about that as I checked the doorknob, okay? So I get in the Uber, half blind, okay? And then as he pulls out of the parking lot and onto the street, in my head, a fire begins. It starts with a small flame, and the flame says, "Did you check the doorknob?"
And could you see well enough to know that it was locked?
No. That's not.
kidding.
That's not part of it. So, and that little flame comes into eventually a few blocks into the ride, an inferno.
Raging.
Did you check the doorknob? Did you check the doorknob?
Oh
It
my
might
God.
be unlocked. And you know what? The flames.
And you were texting me about it too.
Yep. I texted her and I was like, 'cause at that point in my head, I was like, all right, what I'll do if I can't stop thinking about this soon, I'm going to tell the Uber driver, sir, if you turn back, take me home, and then take me to the train station again, I'll give you $100. I'll give you a stack. I'll give you 100, dude.
Hunnits.
So I kept thinking about it until it was too far away to ask him that. Okay? And then in my head, I was like, listen, it was like logic versus OCD. And it began to be like this. You lock the door all the time. It's locked. And then OCD was like, well, yeah, but what if it isn't, bitch? If it isn't...
Because then you start to think about like, oh, like how bad you would feel if like a cat got out. You start to think about
Yes.
like what's inside.
Yes. I started to think, if
And our new...
if I don't go back, is what I thought, then that means that I don't care about the cats as much as I say I do or feel that I do. And so it was, the Uber ride was 45 minutes away to the train station. I got on the train and then I got off the train.
You went that far?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Well, the train was stationary. But I got on and off.
No, yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh, you know, I ended the ride. It was completed. I was at the train station. I got on, and I was like, I sat down, and in my head, I was like, I could do this. The doors could close and take me to the city. Everything's going to be all right. But guess what? I sat down. I was like, nope. And got up, called the next Uber, prayed it wasn't the same guy. Very similar names. So it wasn't him, though. Got in the car. He didn't know what was going on, you know? He didn't even know.
He had no idea you were in a crisis.
Nope, but I was texting you the whole time, and I felt really not good, really. I felt,
Yeah, and I was
felt like shit.
texting you that what you did, go back home and stuff, that it was for the best. Because you had the whole day, and I didn't want you to be stressed out the whole day instead of having fun. So I was just like, just go home.
Yeah.
And then, when you went home, you found your glasses.
Yeah, I found my glasses, and I also, when I got home, I jiggled the doorknob, and it was locked. I had locked it, you know? And in that moment, I wasn't sad that I had went through all this for nothing. Because in the end, I went through it for my peace of
You
mind.
just got the answer. Yeah.
But I guess what I'm saying is, like, in doing all that, I felt sort of swept up in the power of something that I thought didn't really have power over me. You know, like I thought that the worst that OCD does, because it does good things for me too, but the worst that it does is I have to spend some time on it every day, and I have to sort of it's sort of like the Babadook, you know. I have to feed it, you know. I have to spend time with it, and I have to nurture it in a way. And if I do that, it'll appease a slight incident-based anxiety. But this impeded on my actual life. You know, it impeded on my day, and it ended up adding hours, and I ended up spending, I would have spent probably about $75 total to get where I was going. I ended up spending more than double that, you know?
Yeah.
Because I added, it would have been one Uber ride there, and you would have picked me up. It added 3 Uber rides. There, that's the one. Then back, then there again. And then back again, because I ended up not just coming back early because it fucking rained. The day was already ruined. It was already ruined. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
So it was just, that day sucked. It was a nightmare, and it kind of makes me think like maybe I was surprised by how much control something that I thought was pretty small had over my day, because I hadn't really experienced that before, you know?
Yeah. No, I get it. But I still think that you did the right thing for your own, like, well-being, because it's not good for you to be stressed.
Hold on, what's on my face? It's a little piece of couch. My couch is falling apart.
That's literally what I was going to say.
Well, guess what? Someone else got their fucking first. Okay, dude.
Are we going to get another couch?
Eventually,
or?
yeah.
Okay.
It feels good, though, right?
It's still comfortable.
On our body.
It's just that the outer layer is, like...
I mean, the couch just sometimes leaves a part of it inside of you.
We could also get a cover for it.
Have you ever loved anything that hasn't left something inside of you? Our cats are on you right now.
I actually, when I was at work, I was laughing at myself because I was hanging this jacket up and it's black.
Yeah.
And there's just white hair all over it from Neil sleeping on it last night.
Yeah.
And I was like, aw.
Definitely. That's cute.
So funny.
It's a little good reminder. We have some comments here. Justin Gray says, get a smart house lock so you can check it on your phone. But here's the thing, though. That's a good idea. I would not trust that more, because in my head I was like, someone can hack that, you know? If someone can hack my computer, the damage is an impediment, but it couldn't lead to murder, you know? Zach O'Connor says, hi, Pat and Amy. Zach,
hi, Zach.
Hello. David Brooks says, but you can change your route while you're driving, forcing him to go back and then back again. Not the point, though, you know? That would be the same thing as... like,
you'd be like, what the fuck?
That would solve the giving him $100 issue, but it wouldn't solve the main issue, right? It wouldn't... he would ask why. And then that would... because you gotta understand, I was fighting because I knew that going back was just to appease a monster in my head, right? That was trying to be appeased. And the logical part, so that fight went on and on, you know, so that really wouldn't have helped, you know. Steve says, dude, I have a smart lock. It tells you right on your phone if it's locked or unlocked. Yeah, but hey, Steve, couldn't a genius hacker, right? Couldn't a genius hacker make your phone think it's locked, bitch? Come on, dude. Now, Steve is one of my best friends, and as you guys say, I one time sent him a picture of my whole asshole.
I remember that.
Yeah. David Brooks says...
aren't I the one that took the picture?
I mean, I don't want to expose you like that, but hey.
Well, it was funny because I was like watching a TV show or something, or like doing something.
You're just here.
I was busy.
You're just chilling here.
And then you're just like, can you take this picture? And I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And I didn't even ask why. You know? Like, it's obvious. It's not for me, because I'm the one that you asked to take. I'm like, is he going to, like, does he need to like look at something in his butt? And then I realized what was happening.
Yeah. And you knew who was going for it in the end, right?
Well, yeah, and
It's like 2 options.
what? Who's the other one?
Twan.
Oh, true.
Send Twan a picture of that sweet knot, you know?
You guys are so... Well, mostly you.
David Brooke comments, have you ever loved anything that wasn't what's inside of you? Is a good line for a murderer in a film. Hey, maybe I'm that knife wielder, you know?
You should write horror films.
I should. So listen, that's pretty much the serious part of the podcast, you know? That's the seriousness mostly been wrapped, I'd say.
And it's on the daily, you know? And now it's exposed and it's listed out. And I'm interested too, especially with our Facebook friends and YouTube followers.
Yeah.
If you guys have any like tendencies or have been like diagnosed with OCD or have like, imagine if someone was like, whoa, I tap something too. You know what I mean? So just like, I'm interested. I want to know, and I am interested in our friends and followers if you guys have similar stories or experiences with like mental health in any sense. Holler at us in the comments and email us.
I will say though, it annoys me a lot though, because OCD is often used as a synonym.
Like a colloquialism.
Yeah, for anal retentive. And that's part of it, motherfucker.
There's a bunch of different kinds and ways for it to manifest itself.
It's like this. I don't like it being used that way because of this. Today I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts this past weekend with Theo Fawn. And Theo was on the phone talking to a man who was missing a leg. And a leg is a major part of your body, you know? So it has, like my OCD situation, it has an impediment on this guy's life every day, right? It's like this. If you walk into work and your leg is asleep, right? And do you walk up to your coworker who is an amputee, right? And you say, I'm feeling a bit amputated today. I don't know about that one, you know? Whereas like when someone who likes dollar bills to be facing the same way in the register, that person would say to me, I'm a little bit OCD about this. And I'm like, you're not missing a leg, metaphorically, you know?
Right. Totally. And also it's been used so often and frequently, like in that way that it's kind of thrown around, I guess.
Yeah, so if you come with an OCD story, you better have that potent OCD. You better have that post-CD, you know? No, but seriously, we do, on a serious note, want to know about all your deficiencies. Like me, for a while, once, I don't know if you know this, because I've spoken about OCD pretty often on this podcast and on social media. Just passingly, you know, we've talked about rituals before. You're blinking so much, it's freaking me the fuck out.
Because my eyes have been itchy the last couple days and my nose has been stuffy, so I don't know if I have allergies or if I'm coming down with a cold or something.
You want me to spit some water in your eyes and wash them out?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Just kidding.
So,
sorry.
Don't be sorry. I love you so much.
Well, you seemed perturbed, so
Well,
sorry
in
for
the
that.
moment, you look like that meme of that guy who's like, you know what I mean? And I was like, damn, what am I saying that's causing this? But really, it was your body.
I straight up want to call out sick tomorrow.
You should call out sick tomorrow. You should have called out sick today so we could have hung out more, you know? But listen.
You should have not left.
I've spoken about OCD and that affliction on the podcast a lot before, you know? And on social media a lot. But I'll tell you this, what I haven't talked about almost at all is stuttering, you know? I grew up with a few impediments, you know? I couldn't say G's, you know? I would call our teacher Miss Garland. To me, she was Miss Darland. And she took it as an affectionate term, but really, I was trying to let that fucking G fly, you know? Like, I didn't want to be in in high school when 50 Cent dropped, right? I didn't want to be in the hallway shouting D Unit, you know.
That's not the right one.
I wanted it to be G Unit, you know.
Yeah, so did he.
Yeah, so I ended up learning how to say the letter G, you know. But
when you met me, you would have said Amy Duranforce.
oh yeah.
And then like, who the fuck is this?
Oh, but I had to marry you, you know, to change it to a nice pronounceable Shand, you know. But no, I mean, I struggled with stuttering for most of my life, you know. I mean, and still there are a few words and incidents I'll get hung up on, and I'll end up I might say the first syllable of a word a good 18 times sometimes, you know. And you'll just it'll be like a DJ just let the record slip a little bit, and it's got to bring it back a few times, you know, and just try to get the word out.
Didn't you say that you spent time like training yourself as an adult because you took classes when you were little?
Yeah.
But then when you started to teach,
yeah,
you really wanted to not do that in
Yes.
front of students?
Yeah.
Was it like a respect thing?
Well,
that you wanted,
I just didn't want to be embarrassed because the truth was for some reason, I didn't want anyone to know, you know? And, I mean, I never did any public speaking. And, I mean, I would have never been able to do this. But I especially didn't want any romantic partners to ever know, right?
Right.
Like, oh, I remember someone who I dated seriously.
You said my ex.
Yeah, my ex. One time, I mean, I don't want to say came out to her, but I pretty much said, hey, listen, I know I hide it pretty well, but I'm a stutterer, you know? And that's a bit disrespectful that word starts with a hard st, you know? It's kind of hard.
Why would they do that to you?
So, you know what she said to me, though?
What?
She said, yeah, you already told me. Hey, if I already told you, I would have fucking known that, you know?
Yeah.
I thought that was very disrespectful. And it checked a little mark in my head like, oh, this is a bad thing about her. Mm-hmm. Okay? And by the end, my head was full of nothing but check marks, you know? I was like a fucking Twitter profile, you know? a celebrity's Twitter profile. But, yeah, so I would hide that stutter. And I just never talked about it. I would even talk about it in the past tense like I used to. Because I felt as if I could hide it, that would hide some kind of deficiency, you know? Mm-hmm. And I mean, the way that I pretty much conquered it in some ways is, and this is funny, I talked about this when I was a guest on my friend Chris and Bry's podcast. Instead of struggling to get through a word, like the King in the King speech, he didn't know this trick. Mm-hmm. He was like, mm-hmm. You know, he would really lean into trying to get the right word out.
Yeah.
Here's a trick.
I remember that movie.
Colin Farrell or Firth, don't know which one it is. It's one of those guys. They look very different physically.
I don't even want to guess. I don't even
know. Shout out to Colin F, you know? So what you do, and what I've done personally, is that when I feel that I'm not going to be able to say a word, instead of hitting, like, say, I'm looking across the room, there's a book called Plume over there. Now, I might find myself in a situation where I say plume, right? I would go, that book over there. You change what you're going to say on the fly, you know? And that ends up kind of hiding it a bit better, you know?
And that's good, too, because it kind of, like, tricks your brain, because I guess, I don't know how it works. I'm not, like, a scientist or anything. But when you're trying to say the same word, you kind of, like, get stuck at a wall.
Yeah.
So then your nerves make it like blank, like draw a blank, because the more you try, it's like trying to remember something you forgot. The harder you try to remember it, the further away it gets.
Yes.
Whereas instead of like just running into the wall over and over again, you trick your brain by saying that book over there. It's like sharp turn left. And your brain's like, oh, okay.
Exactly. Because you kind of like reboot it that way, right? Because, how can I say this? And I'm not doing it right now. I'm actually thinking right now. Yeah, those stories and some other stuff kind of like just sticks up to me and just kind of sticks in my head. Like, I don't like the idea of being a slave in my life to something that is mental. And that, I've just noticed that's part of stuttering, it's part of OCD. And I don't like that. But we have a bunch of comments here. We have Cassandra Porter says, I missed the conversation, but I was diagnosed by a doctor with OCD when I was 10 and also have a sensory disorder as well, which both create issues. Yeah, I mean, that...
Feel for you.
Absolutely. All that creates issues in life, and a lot of life is kind of about trying to just live with it, and find paths around it. Zach O'Connor writes, I've got OCD. Everything has to be in place and perfect when I go to Starbucks. If the condiment card is out of order, I need to fix it and straighten up the pickup counter and chairs. Yeah, dude, you know what? Maybe Starbucks should start paying you for that OCD, Like, that sounds like you're doing some good work for them, too,
come through.
Yeah. I mean, if not a paycheck, maybe they should at least just get you something out of that tip jar, Zach also writes, I had a bad stuttering problem when I was little. I couldn't say words starting with B. Yo, B can be quite a hard mistress to bed, David says, do you ever think OCD helps you when it comes to writing comics? Dude, yeah. I mean, I should show someday, not the whole thing because it has delicate personal and financial information. But I have like a 50... At this point, it's around 57 pages is my to-do document. And that shit, I'll just come out and straight and say it. It's a banger, It's, that shit has been very helpful in my life. Cassandra says, I think not wanting someone to know also goes along with the fact that in movies and kids, even adults will make fun of people. I'm sure you saw that happening to others and didn't want it to happen to you. Yeah, and the truth is, I mean, as a kid, people made fun of me, and I kind of hope they're all dead now, No, that's not true. Blessings to them because, as a kid...
kids are harsh. They don't know, like, any other way, it seems, especially when they get to, like, public school.
Yeah.
They, like, just team up with each other.
Yeah, they're cruel,
And they just, like, parrot what each other is saying. It just takes, like, one mean-spirited kid, and then the rest of them are just like... Mer, 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 mer.
Oh, yeah, they really kind of jump in on one another, And, I mean, back growing up, I mean, kids were especially cruel to the children in the special needs class. And I remember there was this one girl who was tortured so much by everyone around her. And one day she just screamed out of frustration. And unfortunately, the word that came to her was a racial slur.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yikes.
Actually, I want to give a shout out, and I hope this is still going.
What you mean?
In my high school, because you said people in your school, what is it, middle elementary school?
Which one?
That people were especially mean to special needs kids?
Oh, growing up. I mean, I'd say all the way up until maybe 8th grade.
Yeah. My high school in San Diego had this really cool program. It was after school and then like 2 days a week at lunch, and they even all the kids did one act for the talent show where they like danced to a song. I forgot what it was, and I just feel like they turned the vibe of the entire high school, especially like starting with like the cool kids at the top of the tier, who some of them were in this program, like this club, because you know how you can like sign up for clubs in high school, the gardening club, blah, blah. This was called Circle of Friends Club, where like there was a bigger special needs class, and then one of them would have like a friend in the circle of friends that was like from a regular class, like, and 2 days a week they'd all sit in the same lunchroom and like eat together. And then after a while, during there would be people that weren't even in the group would come and just join lunch, and there would be like pizza, and we'd be all hanging out. Damn. And then during the talent show, the applause for them and everything, they were so good, and the applause for them and everything was never like a parody in any way. And I feel like our high school was super, super good with that. And that's rare.
That's beyond rare.
Yeah, I thought it was so cool.
It wouldn't have happened in my school, you know?
Yeah.
In
and
fact,
that's sad, you know, because it's nobody's choice to be who they are, so.
No, I'm thinking of a very specific situation. If at my school, instead of a talent show, we literally had, they called it Night at the Apollo, and the audience would boo if they didn't like the act.
Oh my god.
And the second night, because it was a Saturday and a Sunday, or Friday and Saturday. The first night, the booing was fine, and then there were complaints from parents, so that they put out this thing. It was a Friday and Saturday, and then the next week again, it was 2 nights again. For the second session, they said to all the students, you can't boo, because there have been complaints. And then they booed even harder, of course, you know.
I mean, that's why they're there.
Definitely. David Brook asks, do you wonder if your kids would watch this in the future?
Actually, no, because we're not going to have kids.
No, yeah, we're just talking kids are cruel, you know. Who wants to create that?
I like kids. You know, I babysit a couple kids, and I have 4 younger brothers, and I think they all want to have kids. It's not that I'm like, ugh, kids, you know, like, gross. I enjoy kids. Like, even with my friend from work, Melissa, and stuff, when I hang out with her, I'll either go out to, like, lunch with her alone, or I'm more than happy to just go to her house and hang with her and her kids, because they're fun to me. But, like, personally, I don't know. I just never really have and don't want kids, just because when it comes down to, like, finances and stuff like that, I want to be free to, like, the cats already, you know, make us very stable, like, in our home. Like, we can't go very far for too long because they are so, like, high maintenance.
It's accurate.
And but, like, as we get older and stuff like that, I'd rather spend, like, thousands of dollars on a very nice, like, explorative vacation or something like that. And I know that's maybe sounds selfish to some people, but I kind of am selfish when it comes to, like, you too. Like, I don't really want to, I don't know. I don't know how to get it out without sounding offensive. I just don't really want to, like, deal with that, you know?
No, same. I more wonder if maybe a stranger who wants to destroy my career is watching this and is going to pull quotes like me saying to Amy that everyone who loves you probably left something inside of you out of context and use that to destroy my career if I ever get famous, you know? So, I mean,
but people are crazy, you know, so you never really know. But as far as the kids go, I like kids. I really enjoy them, but I can't see myself, like, the way my friends are so far that have kids. They're great moms as far as I can see, and they are, like, everything in their life is about their kids.
Yes.
And, like, I go through so many hobbies and interests and things like that, and I want the freedom to do that.
Definitely. Now, we're talking about kids. Let's switch it to the other end of life, because there was an incident that we had with an old lady at the Steam Room, this restaurant. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah, so we've been going to this restaurant frequently because I don't think we've recorded a podcast since it was my birthday. It reminded me when you said I was young or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was my birthday a couple weeks ago, and we went to dinner there, and then we've been going there because we love that area to play Pokemon and stuff, and I love the seafood. So this restaurant it's pretty nice. It's, you know, it's not, like, high-end by any means, but there's nice, like, seating with open chairs and everything. It's like a family restaurant.
Yes.
And every time we go, there's people there.
Yes.
It's either packed or steady.
Yeah, it's like a
it's
nice
not
sprinkling
empty.
of people. Always, usually, yeah.
So...
Oh, and when you go inside, sometimes there is this guy.
It's like one end of the spectrum or the other.
Yes. Yeah, it's either no one in the world there.
And you just walk right up to the counter and order from some teenage kids.
Yes. Or there is a guy there who, I'm just going to say it because he looks he looks like Jafar's grandpa. He has a very evil look to him. You know, he looks like a Disney villain, specifically like Jafar.
Right.
Now he has like those arched big eyebrows,
But
and
his face is like creepy smiley.
exactly, it's an evil smile. He looks like Jafar. So he comes up to you, and he'll help too much, right? He'll be like, sit here, sit here, sit here. Like he'll say
Super close to you too. Like he'll creep close to you a little bit of an arch to his back, and he's like, "Hi."
Yeah.
You sit here. He like herds you.
Yes.
Not even ushers you.
No,
just
it's
like
it's very villainous the way he moves, you know.
Yeah.
And he'll he's kind of like
slithers around.
yeah, like a mixture of actually Jafar and Iago, Jafar's parrot, who like will whisper evil things, you know.
Exactly, because that's how he talks.
Yes, he's very whispery. He'll we were behind this couple who didn't know what they were going to order, and instead of saying go to the open register past them, he whispers. He puts his pretty much he puts his head on my shoulder, and in my ear he goes, "Go there. Go to the register. Go." I'm like, God damn, dude.
Yeah, like you can't even. It's not even. We couldn't tell that there were even 2 registers working, and we didn't. How does he know that we even know what we want?
Yeah.
We literally just got there.
Yeah, he's like the devil on your shoulder, but instead of the situation ending with you doing like something sexually inappropriate or doing something along the lines of killing someone, instead you just end with some clams, you know.
Lucky for him, though, I know exactly what I want, so
Yeah.
I order.
Yes.
He orders.
Yes.
We go sit down.
Yes.
And then this couple comes in. They're walking very slowly because they're like in their late 70s.
Oh, generous. Yeah. Yeah.
Because when I saw her, I never looked at her until we were walking out.
Yes. They were between. I'm going to give a big span here, okay? They were between 79 and $120.
Oh my God.
They could have been very old.
Okay.
She could have been breaking some records and no one knows. But instead she broke something else.
I didn't even know she could make a sound this loud. Because turns out, on my way out, I looked at her, and she's like 80 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
She's a tiny, little, gray-haired lady.
Yes.
So we're sitting waiting for our food. And they come and they're going to sit at the table next to us. And there's another couple. Like, I don't know if they're on their first date or they're on a date, though. And it's just like a younger, like, Long Island couple.
Yeah.
Sitting, like, diagonally to us. And this couple, the older couple, is about to sit right next to us. So they're, like, in the middle of the younger couples.
Yeah, and this younger couple, they're so Long Island, right? That I didn't hear the order. But I'm going to guess he said, "Oh, some fucking clams." Okay?
Clams.
Yeah.
So the old man goes up to the register to order for both of them, I guess. And the lady, as she's sitting down, like everything she was doing was so slow. She's walking slowly, pulling out her chair slowly, everything. And then all of a sudden, from her standing to sitting down was super fast. And she just goes,
That?
right?
Yes. That, but much longer.
Like,
Can I try?
You do the fart part, because I can't even tell this.
I'm going to try.
Yeah, it was like a juicy one, you know? To the point where Pat and I were playing Pokemon, so we weren't like in loud, deep conversation, but the other couple was like talking, silence.
Yeah.
Then I look at Pat and I'm just like, then I look at the other couple and they're looking at each other like, and the lady just fucking, just like Theo Von, she onward.
Yeah, she's onward, yeah. She just
kept being. What
that
else
was kind
can
of
you do?
fucking gangster, you know?
I know. She didn't even look like, well, I guess, because I didn't look at her face, because I didn't want to look at her right after.
Yes.
Obviously.
Oh, I looked.
Did she look embarrassed?
Not even
That's
a little
what
bit.
I was going to, so, like, with so much, like, knowledge, I knew it was true.
Yeah.
But then I realized I hadn't seen her
Right.
yet. But yeah, she just.
I mean, now I kind of want to demonstrate. I want to demonstrate how much this fart cut the conversation. Right?
Yeah.
Can you? I'll be her fart again. Okay? Can you be the couple on the date, and can you just have like a little Long Island-y conversation?
No.
No?
I can't. I feel.
Just be like.
I feel like I can't.
I'll start you off.
I haven't been. I only took like one improv class like 200 years ago.
I'll just pretend it's me then. Okay? I'll start you off. Okay? You can do this. Just reply to what I'll say, and then I'll change characters and be her butt. Okay?
Okay.
So what you gonna get? The fucking clams?
Oh, I don't know. I'm definitely gonna get some sing.
That's pretty much what happened.
That literally, and since it wasn't a busy night, and they were really the only conversation I heard around us, it really felt like silence ensued.
Oh yeah.
After.
Oh yeah.
And then nobody said shit about it until, like, literally we were in the next store or something. We were in the candy store, and then we're just like, dude, remember?
Yep.
Which is how we refer to literally anything that happened before.
Yes.
And
remember.
And then we just know what each other's is talking about.
Yep. Every time. Now, hold on, wait. I have a comparison, right?
Okay.
The only thing similar to what happened there was, oh my god, so fucking funny. It was when I was getting confirmed at church with Steve Wisnowski.
Oh my god, I know this. I think
I love this fucking story. Wait, no.
Oh.
It's with us and our group of friends. You know, we were all around the same age. You know, getting confirmed, and we were all
like 10.
Oh no. I was 18 and they were all 16.
Oh.
Yeah.
So like a teenage confirmation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know when I was 10.
I was thinking like first communion type shit.
Oh no, you see, she's not religious, you know. So we were all on the stage, and the reverend, the Pastor Eddie, right? He was very loose in his stylings, you know. He liked to sort of just roll with the punches, you know. He let the sermon go as long or short as he wanted, you know. And there was one lady, her name is Marion Hubbard, just gonna call it out. I was gonna say, she didn't like that shit, you know. I liked it, you know. He was kind of like I talked on this podcast before about how I've had in my life multiple Dumbledore type figures, and Pastor Eddie is one of them, you know. I loved him and love him, you know. He lives, you know. So the confirmation's going on. Everyone is erupting into joyous songs of worship, right? And the song ends. And it has gone on a bit longer because Pastor Eddie's going like this. He wants the song, the joyous music to keep going, right? And then the song ends, and Pastor Eddie goes, "One more time!" And then Marion Hubbard in the audience stands up and goes, "No!"
Fucking hates music.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh
Yeah.
my god, I want to be her.
Silence. Oh, beautiful.
That's so fucking great.
The same thing as the fart, you know.
Wow. That's so. I did not think you were gonna tell that story right now.
It was the same thing as the fart.
It was, but in a way.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. just a few comments here.
Christ.
David Brook says, I write for AIPTcomics.com, and that site, I'm going to say, is called Adventures in Poor Taste Comics.
Okay.
And he has interviewed me many times before.
Yes.
Where he says, I'm writing all this down, right? And he's trying to cancel the boy, you know? And I'm just going to say.
But wait, he writes for a comic book thing, but he said children, parentheses S.
Oh, calling you out. That's a different comment that I didn't mention. Because there's an error in there. So listen. I feel in some way I'm uncancelable because I used to worry, about like saying something wrong or doing something wrong or like being called out. But I think that worry and leaning on the idea of people are one thing, right? Of being one thing that can ruin you. I think that if you let yourself be one thing that could be ruined, then you could be ruined, But I feel like I see people just like calling one another out over the stupidest things. Like recently, I saw someone tweet, "I can't believe that 87 of my mutual followers are still following blank or still friends on Facebook with blank," and I'm just like,
why do you even look as far as to see
yeah, like
that?
why do you have the time to see who your mutual who of your mutual friends follow so and so? And two, I mean, my policy on social media, my shit is open. I will add anyone on Facebook or accept any request from someone that has mutual followers with me because I assume, oh, they want to read my stuff. If someone is like called out over doing something terrible, I don't check, oh my God, are they following me or am I following them? I don't think about that at all.
Yeah.
I think in the real life, in real life, they did something terrible. That sucks. I don't think, selfishly, I think it's selfish if your first reaction to finding out someone is bad is I have to protect myself to make sure I'm following them.
Yeah.
That to me is sociopathic, I don't think about that shit at all. I don't know who I'm friends with here. I have people who are close to me in real life probably who weren't on here, who maybe they're offended I don't follow them. But I don't look at that shit. I don't read my feed.
Especially if you were to look at the list of the people you follow and who follow you, it's thousands,
Yeah.
It would just take so long to sift through them.
Yeah.
Some people you followed years and years ago,
Yeah, I don't get that impulse to just destroy people, I don't know who I'm following. I don't know who I'm friends with here. And I don't delete people unless they specifically reach out to me and anger me. In that case, I'm like, oh, you have annoyed me on this platform. I'm removing you from this platform.
In that case, you've just given him an easy path to your profile to block your ass.
Yeah, exactly. But
by your messenger popping up.
Yeah, but like that, taking follows and being friends with someone as a condonement of things they've done is so crazy to me because people don't use social media the same way. If I wasn't writing comics, I would just be doing this podcast on social media and posting Pokemon pictures and cat pictures, and that's it, right? I don't look at that shit. I don't read other people's feeds. I don't know who's here, And to expect someone to have a really solid grasp on everyone involved in their social media life, damn, that's a lot to ask, People exist on these platforms in very different ways. But yeah, that's just one example of just some craziness that I've seen recently,
Wait, I never had to talk about my birthday.
Oh yeah, talk about it.
How did we get away from that? Anyway.
I don't know.
I mean, now that we're talking about being selfish, let's talk about my birthday really fast.
My body hurts a little bit right now.
Me too.
I feel like my legs are whack.
There was this old-timey, blues female vocal music playing in the lobby this morning when I first got to work.
Sounds beautiful.
Yeah, and I was brewing coffee, standing there, and I closed my eyes. I was like, I could literally fall asleep right here.
Yeah.
Like, this is too nice. We gotta change it so I can wake up. But anyway, I forgot why and how I was talking about my birthday, but I just want to say how super fun it was because it's kind of like a dichotomy because I spent the whole weekend with you and I didn't work, and now this weekend you're going out of town.
Yeah.
And it's kind of...
It's as if this weekend is the opposite of your birthday.
Yeah, and then also, too, as well, if you're in the area, these are fun things to do, especially for, fall time, I think. We went and picked apples.
Yeah.
Right?
We got
there
some
are orchards
greens,
around and shit.
some reds.
In, the Riverhead, Greenport, or whatever, Calverton area.
Some yellows we got, too.
Yeah, and they're pretty good. They're probably going to go bad by the time we eat all of them.
They're probably bad right now.
They give us this little bag, And we're like, damn, it's not pricey at all, but it's a little bag. And then you put the apples in there, and you're like, shit, this is so many apples. Why would anyone get a bigger bag than this? But then we're walking around, and I see people with, like, apples in their shirt, apples in their purses. They have so many. What are they going to do with all those?
Probably sell them on eBay,
No. Maybe make, like, pies.
That's what Massey did.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Massey.
And then we went to the aquarium. Super duper fun.
Oh, I'm not done with the apple orchard yet.
Oh, go ahead.
Amy picked an illicit apple.
Oh, I felt like such a delinquent because I clearly, what happened was there's rows that are not fully like ripe yet, and I air quotes because they are.
Oh yeah, so green.
And they're like, some of them are like peeking over the little rope way, and it's just asking for me to pick it.
So watch, here's the fence, right? And this is the apple, right in front of Amy. So the apple is...
Yeah, this is the apple. I said...
Yeah.
It was over the line. And then this poor, nice young girl is like, I'm sorry. Those are actually off limits. And I'm just like, in my head thinking, it's a little too late. It's already off the stem. What do you want me to do? Reattach it?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah.
So instead, out of my mouth, I said, oh... Well, do you want me to throw it back? And then she just goes all like dejected. No. And I'm like, all right, cool. It's mine then. And then I turned to the ladies next to me and I made a joke. I was like, see, it was over the line. So it's mine.
To me, I'm glad it happened. That shit was fucking hilarious to me.
Felt like a thief,
Oh, yeah.
And then when we were going to exit, I was afraid they were going to like do like a scanny thing or like notice and be like, hey, that's an illegal apple, miss. You can't leave the premise with that. I would have just been like this. Eat that shit right in front of their face.
Let me tell you something. The only funnier thing that could have happened from that interaction was if she was like, oh, that isn't ready to be picked yet. And instead of asking if you want to put it back, you just said, and just threw it.
No. Because I knew she was going to say no.
Oh, yeah.
But then, so we got this, because it was my birthday weekend. So Pat was just fucking throwing money at me the whole weekend, So we go and we're going to get a little like souvenir, and I got this little headband thing. But we have to talk about the organic apple crisp.
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted to.
Why not?
Okay.
It's just funny because, like, no offense. Everyone, I'm sure some people like it, but I don't.
Are you
know
though?
how.
Hey, do you think anyone likes that?
And I don't know if it's because of, like, sitting out the whole day or whatever, but it just wasn't sweet.
Let me tell you something. So,
Because there were samples.
yeah, the free samples of this lady's apple crisp.
It was like a tray of it.
Her homemade apple crisp. Oh,
That's my favorite
oh my God.
dessert,
Wait,
okay?
Eddie Husino is here. Eddie is Pastor Eddie. Eddie is watching our live stream.
No.
Hey, Pastor Eddie, I just told a story about our confirmation and when someone in the audience cried out in protest. Oh, man, good times. Good times. That's so funny.
That is so great.
It's so perfect. Hello, Eddie.
Whoa, what fate. Hi.
So, yeah, we were at the apple orchard, and this lady had her homemade apple crisp. And she was she owned the booth.
It was like her place.
You would even call her a professional apple crisper.
Yeah.
You would think.
Yeah. She definitely wasn't a professional remover of price tags.
Oh, no?
Do you remember that?
No. What happened?
She spent like 5.5 minutes awkwardly trying to like delicately remove the ribbon price tag.
Oh, yeah.
And like kept saying, I can do this.
Yeah.
And then kept saying that her eyesight was bad in her old age and shit.
It's
and
like...
I'm just like, dude.
Yes.
I could either one, do it.
Yeah.
Or two, I could not listen to you while you're doing it.
Yep. I remember that.
And she was so nice too.
She was so nice, but
But
here's
we
the
just
thing.
we have to talk shit everywhere.
It's
we
true
go.
because watch. Here's the thing, right? If someone gives you a bad haircut, which you've experienced before, I have as well. It doesn't make them a bad person. Mm-hmm. It makes them bad at their job. Mm-hmm. And her job is apple crisping.
Apple crisp.
And let me tell you something. There's no one on this planet worse than making apple crisp than she is. She had, I'll describe it, what it looked like. It looked like apples that weren't baked, but rather sliced and left out in the sun for a few hours, covered in sawdust. And it tasted like apples that hadn't been cooked and were instead sliced and left out in the sun, covered in sawdust. That is what it tasted like.
That's what she meant by organic.
Oh my god, dude. It was, we each had a sample. And
I'm like trying to be nice, like that, and I walk away to throw it in the trash, and I come back and I just see Pat's face. Her face. I just see Pat's face right in front of her, and he's just like.
I couldn't hide it.
Like a fucking 5-year-old
Hold on.
presented like broccoli or something.
I'm gonna try to do it.
He's
Let me tell you something.
literally.
I
I like smacked you. I was like,
You're
so inappropriate.
I couldn't believe
That's
how
her
it tasted.
life's work.
Let me tell you something. She needs some new work then. You know, she should maybe instead sew. Because guess what?
She didn't make the
She
headband
can't do it.
that we bought. That was made by another actress.
Yeah.
There.
It was unbelievably
You
bad.
know? But there was other great stuff there. There's a nice area to sit, and there was live music. And remember I asked you if you ever had chicken apple sausage on the way there, and you're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, it seems like a thing that doesn't exist, you know?
No, so now I want to know if any of you friends have ever heard of or tried or enjoy chicken apple sausage on your breakfast plate.
It seems like 3 different things. Like, have you ever heard someone say, hey, I'm going to make some pot roast cherry bacon, you know? Doesn't make any sense, though, you know?
Sounds good.
It sounds like it's just 3 food items separate.
Like when they, what did they take and turn it into the Fairly Odd Parents theme song?
Oh, I forget what that was.
Large
Yeah.
rice, chocolate shake.
I remember that, though. Now, are you ready for our final topic?
Yeah.
I want to talk about playing Pokemon Go with my mom.
Your pictures are choice.
This one here, you know? I'm trying to find a video. Here we go.
Your mom's so cute. I literally love her.
There are 3 videos of my mom playing Pokemon Go.
This was on my Snap story because she's so entertaining because
I'm going to put it in the
can-
podcast.
She can do like most of the things that we do, but she just never has tried because why would she unless she's with us? So she spent the weekend with us and she downloaded the Pokemon Go app because we were doing raid day on Sunday because it was my day off. And we went down to Port Jeff with her. And it's so funny because I've been on the other end of it where I'm getting so frustrated.
Yes.
And I'm legitimately pissed.
Right.
And she's like cute pissed and I get like not cute pissed.
Right.
So seeing her just like, aw, because I feel empathy for her, but it's also a better version of how I am when I get pissed.
And also, it's just hilarious.
It's hilarious because she like doesn't understand sometimes.
Yeah. And well, first it was very fun to play with her. You know,
I loved it.
She did very well. She did her first raid. She caught the mythical Pokemon Deoxys.
Yeah.
With 1 throw.
Yep.
I was very impressed with that.
I was on like it took me like 7-8 balls and she already had them. I was so proud.
She caught her first shiny Pokemon too.
Yeah.
Now, but watching her try to catch this Bulb. Well, first
the
names. So she doesn't really read the name. She'll glance at it and assume what it is and call them that forever, right? Mm-hmm. So she calls Bulbasaur Bulbasaur.
And that's because she had a friend in school with that last name.
That's right.
She literally told that story, and then the rest of her life will call that Pokemon Bulbasaur.
Yep.
Like John Bulbasaur.
Yep. All right.
Christ.
She calls Nidoran. Nicodorn.
Nicodorn. Like the
It's crazy.
like the gum?
I don't know.
Like Nicoderm patch?
Oh, maybe that. Maybe that's where that's from. I don't know.
I'm trying to like see inside her brain.
You
But
remember
I
what she
can't.
calls Turtwig?
Wild?
She calls him
Because
Wild.
you know when you when you hit the Pokemon and it shows up for you to catch, it says you've encountered a wild Bulbasaur. A wild. It was Turtwig Community Day.
So there's more Turtwigs than anything
all
else.
of the Pokemon she was catching, she kept seeing Turtwig.
Yeah.
And every time, since she only reads the beginning, it was too long for her to get to Turtwig. A wild.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was like, I said to her, who are you catching? And she said, Wild. And
She hasn't seen any tame ones yet, you know.
she hasn't. She has not. And finally, Cacnea,
Oh, God.
she calls, I was like, who are you catching now? And she said, Cacena.
Kakina.
All right, so here are the other videos of her. Those watching the live stream can't see this, but on YouTube, it'll be in the actual video. Which one should I play?
The what nerve one?
This one?
Then the left and the right.
Which means he's a harder guy to catch. One. Yeah, see? He's going to come out the ball.
All right.
This is so fun on the big screen.
Pissing me off, she said.
And I was trying to help her do the easiest
You got
way,
this.
but she
He's
got it with
jumpy.
her thumb.
You have 64 balls, so it's all good. He's in the ball.
It makes her the most mad when he gets out.
Okay.
One more.
Oh, you gotta get him again. That was a good throw. He just jumped out of it.
Oh, I forgot to put my dress on that match.
There he goes.
You better stay. One.
She talks
Two.
to it like a real pet, you know?
Wow, what nerve.
Wow.
What nerve.
Sorry, I'm on your shoulder.
And then the left.
Yeah.
And we're trying to coach her, too, on how to best throw the ball, you know?
Because I use my pointer finger, but she seems to be more comfortable
Perfect.
with her thumb.
Okay, now if he doesn't stay, I'm not
She's
wasting
good at
any more
it,
time
too.
on
And she
him.
just got this new phone, and I'm like so impressed
Oh my
with how
God,
much
what a
she
little
learned it,
fucker.
and now this on it.
Seriously.
Seriously. Her face is legit pissed.
Oh, so
That
good.
screenshot, yo.
So
she looks
good.
like she's disappointed in you for like finding weed in your room or something.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Oh my God.
This
She
one
caught
she
him.
got it. This one she got it.
You have him. You fucking have him. About time.
She's
Not
not.
'cause of
That's
you, 'cause of
me.
him.
She's not even happy. She's shaking her head.
She said
Play that.
unbelievable.
Sorry, play that shit back.
Unbelievable.
What she said.
It's gonna be too hard to find.
Okay, that's so funny though.
Oh my god, that's
Oh
the best.
God, I love her.
Listen,
Man, I kind of wish she lived like down the street, not an hour away.
you can have her over this weekend, you know, if
Yeah.
you wanted.
I'm gonna hit
if
her
you-
up on
if you have
Saturday
time.
morning because I'm going out tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Then I have Saturday, Sunday off.
Listen, for those who are in Ohio, I'm gonna be there. I'd love to see you.
Cleveland rocks.
For those, where's that from? What's that?
I think it's that 70 show.
For those who are you, I'll miss you.
I miss you as well.
I love you.
So boring without you.
Thank you for being my partner in this podcast.
Totes.
Thank you for choosing to marry me
Happy to do it.
after I asked you my idea. Just gonna say it out loud.
It should be. It
It
was my idea too. You just said it out loud.
Yeah, no, before I proposed to my wife, we had agreed. You know, we knew the fucking deal.
Yeah, ask fucking Noel from Starbucks at San Diego. Pretty much knew the deal like the first like week we were dating. Remember I was
You mean Kristen?
no.
Noelle? Really?
I mean Noel.
Really?
Yeah.
You told her?
We had a bonding moment. It was when I told everyone.
Oh, I thought that. See, my thought was that Kristen was the boss, so you told her.
No, we
But-
told her together.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Like
That's right.
formally.
That's right.
Remember?
Yep, we came to her and we're like, listen, we have had
We're
sex.
together.
You know? Oh,
We said.
yeah.
If it was whatever. Goodbye. Thanks for joining us.
Just tell them all how much you're gonna miss me.
A lot. Like I said, I'm gonna be asleep most of the weekend. Don't try to contact me. And I really want to get cleaning done around the house, like fold my clothes, but I'm probably not going to, so I shouldn't have even said it out loud because now I'm just gonna feel guilty about not doing it.
Don't worry about it.
Whatever.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I haven't worried about it for like 6 fucking months.
Yeah, and if you have any mental afflictions like your boy, you know, and definitely like her, you let me know, you know.
I just didn't talk about mine.
Yeah,
Suckers.
we talk about your shit in different ones. You know, it's my turn.
Yeah, sure.
You gotta let my immense staggering flaws shine. You know.
Yeah, I would love to.
Up to what?
Talk about mine.
No. You always talk about yours. It's my time to shine.
It is. It's your time.
I love you. Thanks for watching, everybody. Man, that story is so funny. That Pastor Eddie came
That's
to
the
watch
best
the end
story
when
ever.
I was just telling that story. she, the way I remember it, she could have either said no or even better. I didn't want to say this one because I'm not sure if it's true. She said either no or enough. You know, which is so good.
Like that movie Doubt.
Oh my God! Yeah, she actually kind of looked like Meryl Streep. You know.
Meryl Streep's so talented.
Shout to M Streep. Zach comments, "It's nice visiting you guys. Enjoy your night." Zach, thank you very much.
Miss you, Zach. Have a great night.
Absolutely.
Hit us up whenever.
And I think we're out, you guys. Thanks for watching.
All right, love you guys.
I love you, but I love my wife more.
Oh,
How Trump is it to go like this? You know?
chill,
What's up with that?
Space between.